We get this question a lot around this time of the year. What is your New Year's resolution? Mine is simple for 2023. At first, I wanted it to be some grandiose thing. But then I said, we're 3 years into COVID in 2023. 3 years into what I think is going to take more than 2 decades to really fix. And I said, what do I really want the 3rd year of COVID? Kind of like a calming, not too up and not too down, just right in between. So my New Year's resolution is really to try to stay even keel. Not get too excited about certain things that happen next year. And not get too down in the dumps about things that happen next year. My New Year's resolution for 2022 went perfectly well. It was stay consistent. And I think that's what we tried to maintain here consistently. So going into next year is to stay even keel. My New Year's resolution for Americans, this is difficult. I would say incorporate more fruits, nuts, and seeds into your diet, Americans. That would be my hope for next year for you, Americans, in 2023. More fruits, nuts, and seeds. Less meat and dairy. I think before you're good to the planet, you have to be good to yourself because you're a product of your own planet. You know, a lot of the youth talk about wanting to go green and a Green New Deal. But is that deal applicable to you as an individual? Have you or are you going green? Are you plant-based? You know, when they told me how much water it takes to just do a small tiny piece of cheese to get it onto your table, the amount of water wasted to manufacture and produce cheese in America is astronomical. It's so many quadrillion gallons you wouldn't even believe it. So if we want to be green, and a lot of the youth do, then you have to go plant-based. You have to incorporate more fruits, nuts, and seeds into your diet. And eliminate meat and dairy. People say this is about forcing people to go plant-based. No. It's about people who want a new deal, a Green New Deal, but don't want to have to do what's necessary to get that deal. We've all got to do what's necessary for the deal to work. if we want a Green New Deal. Now, if we don't want a sustainable and maintainable planet, please, by all means, continue eating meat and dairy. But don't expect for the planet to maintain itself. You know, they keep saying, oh, well, people back in the day ate meat. There weren't 8 billion people on the planet back in the day, to which whatever day these people talk of or refer to. There's not enough cows, chickens, lambs, whales, snakes, frogs, cats, dogs, whatever else you cook and eat that's dead in flesh. There's not enough of it to maintain 8 billion people on the planet. So if you keep wanting to be like a buzzard and eat dead flesh, I don't know what to tell you. You can't maintain the planet that way. Just like this agricultural business that people do. Lumber and timber, chopping out all the trees. Well, don't expect to have good, clean oxygen, air. People complain every summer about the forest fires all across America, the smoke. It's due to big agriculture. And how you do agriculture, you chop down all the trees. So the forest, the brushes, it easily catches fire. Some are done intentionally. Others are done by drought due to bad agricultural practices. My resolution for Americans would be fruit, nuts, and seeds. Things that are going to benefit the body and the planet. That's what's necessary. And that's really going to get the Green New Deal in place. You know, they want to take all of the gas-guzzling vehicles off the road. Electric vehicles. Everything is going to be autonomous and operate by itself. Cleaner, greener, they say. Less waste. But I'm like, that's only 1/2 of the story. The other half is we're still going to be practicing the same diet. Still growing and destroying the planet the same way. With electric vehicles running on the street. See, you can't go halfway and then stop. And that's what people are trying to do, halfway. It won't work that way. So my personal resolution is to remain even keel. Americans, yours should be fruit, nuts, and seeds. And they're good for you. Now, as luck would have it, those things will go through the roof in terms of pricing. I think 2023, 3 years into COVID, folks are going to continue doing what they're doing. And what I see is sort of kind of trying to return back to ways that we know are harmful and unproductive to us. All while knowing we're in a different time period. Trying to fight tooth and nail productive changes for ourselves and our planet. So I see that continuing in 2023, even more so. But those changes, those things, they're going to continue to happen. It's kind of like when folks fought against civil rights for Black Americans in America. You could see in the 60s and 70s things were changing. But Americans fought it. You saw in that photo Jerry Jones. He was a warrior against. We all know the truth, whether we want to admit it or not. Folks always fight change, especially the most beneficial and productive and positive change. It comes with a severe backlash and resistance. It's a longing for past practices that we know are unbeneficial for us in a changing world. I really do hope everyone has a good 2023. I think how we choose to end 2022 really plays a big deal into 2023. I think Americans will choose to end 2022 on a very sour note. I really do. I get a feeling they really want to end on a bad note. To say we're going to have a better 2023. But if that's the case, then why not really have a great end to 2022? You know, I said they should do reparations in America by Christmas. Do you think the Americans will listen? No, of course not. They want to end on a sour note. And then they'll say, we're going to have a good 2023. With no intention of having a good 2023. None whatsoever. Green New Deal. Fruits, nuts, and seeds. 2023 American.